Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and today we're going to be doing a demo and first impression of this beautiful baby right here. This is the Pat McGrath Eye Ecstasy Kit. And when I saw this come onto Sephora's website, I was so freaking stoked. I have been wanting to try Pat McGrath products for quite a while now. So when I saw it come up as a VIB Rouge sort of pre-launch, which they tend to do the 24-hour first look in their app, I bought it immediately without any thought, without any sort of research or anything. It went into my cart. I bought it, no questions asked. Now maybe that had a little bit to do with the fact that I was on travel and feeling a little bit down, and maybe it had a little bit to do with the fact that I might have had a couple of glasses of wine in my hotel room. But with all that said, I was so excited to buy this. I've been wanting to try out Pat McGrath products for a while. I do have a 3-pack of the little mini lipsticks. I bought the 3-pack that are in kind of the nudie sort of colors, or at least nude for me. I'm wearing right now the shade in 1995 and it is really, really pretty. I've actually used it quite a bit. So I wanted to branch out and try more. Now I have been wanting to buy one of her bigger palettes for a very long time. I just haven't had it in the budget. It's something that every time the VIB Rouge, or I'm sorry, the VIB sale comes around at Sephora, it starts out in my cart. It just never seems to make it home. I don't know if the sale coming, hopefully this April, will be any different. I'm really leaning between either the 5, that bronzy one, or the number 2. I don't know. They're both so stinking pretty and I want. But I'd never tried any of her eyeshadow products before. So I thought that this would be a really good way to kind of introduce myself to her formula and maybe scratch that itch just a little bit. I don't know, we'll see. Also, in addition to the eyeshadow palette, there are 2 additional products that are in this kit. There is an eye topper, glittery, real pretty, as well as her new mascara that just came out, the Eye Fetish mascara. And that's actually been on my want list with Sephora for a while as well. So I thought, you know what? $48 is definitely a little bit steeper when it comes to a mini eyeshadow palette, but because of the extra products that are in there, I felt like it was worth the splurge. So let's talk a little bit about the products themselves. So first of all, I will say, while presentation is very nice when it comes in this gold bag with all of the sparkles and the pretty, I really don't like it. And I say that for 2 reasons. First of all, these little sequins, no matter how careful you are, they get just everywhere. They stick to things, they end up in the carpet, they're a mess. But in addition to that, they are not environmentally friendly. In all the research that I've done, they are not recyclable. So I'm literally putting all of this plastic waste into a landfill, and I don't love that. I know some people don't really care, and that's fine. That's definitely your prerogative. I know me personally, I care a lot. I'm definitely someone who believes in minimizing my own personal footprint in the world, and that does not help me do it. So as much of a statement it is to kind of open it up, I don't love it. I don't. But let's talk about the products that come in it. So this is the eyeshadow palette that comes with this kit. So it's got this beautiful, very editorial carton outside. This is just the sleeve that it comes in, and it's in true Pat McGrath fashion. So you've actually got her signature sequins here, as well as just the overall signature artistic aesthetic, which I really, really like. And then when you slide it out, it is just a cardboard, very sleek cardboard box, or packaging, I guess. I actually really like this packaging quite a bit. When I initially made this purchase, I had a moment after I had done it that I got a little bit scared in a sense, because I have purchased a couple of the Natasha Denona mini palettes and they are tiny, and so I really had a moment there where I was like, oh my god, I just spent $50, and if these are just such teeny tiny eyeshadow pans. I don't know if I'm going to feel good about keeping it, but I am actually very pleasantly surprised. These are decent sized pans. Now, part of it may also be the packaging, right? I should actually check and see how many grams this is versus how many grams you get in the Natasha Denona minis. But this feels like I'm getting more. It feels like I'm actually getting some bang for my buck, whereas with the Natasha Denona ones, not quite so much. So it does come with a lovely mirror in it, and then it's got 6 eyeshadow pans. So we've got 2 mattes. We've got this black matte right here, as well as this brown matte right here. And then the rest are shimmery metallic shades. So let me go ahead and give you some quick swatches. All right, so here we have, this is going to be the top row. This is going to be the second row. We're going from left to right, and the shade names are actually on the back of the cardboard sleeve. So I'll go ahead and read them out to you. Let me do this in a way that I can read it because the print on here is pretty darn small. So this shade right here, this beautiful gold metallic shade at the top, is called Afterglow. This beautiful matte brown color, this is called Paradiso. This beautiful shiny bronzy shade right here is called Liquid Sun. This matte black is called Dark Matter. This beautiful bronzy, deeper sort of shade is going to be called Listen. And then this one down at the bottom, this really beautiful metallic plum color, is called Amnesia. So I really actually love the color story that's going on here. I think it's very, very beautiful and very, very wearable. This is something that I will actually get a ton of use out of. In fact, I'm currently packing for yet another work trip, and this is going to be coming with me because I feel like this is going to give me so much variety and diversity out of just a 6-pan palette. So I really do love it. I'm wearing all but 2 of these shades today on my eyes. I am not wearing the matte black, and I'm also not wearing this sort of bronzy shade here that's not as deep as this sort of reddy bronze here. I actually really, really like this a lot. Now, for me, it is lacking the thing that I'm craving from her large palettes, and those are the special shades. And I get why they're not in here, because the large palettes is where it's at, and I get that, and that's fine, but it doesn't have any of the duochrome sort of shifty shades and things like that, which is really what I'm yearning for when I'm looking at those larger Pat McGrath palettes. I'm interested to see if those are some of the shades that might be released as singles. I realize that $25 is a lot to pay for a single, but if you're looking at, for instance, the Mothership 5, which is the bronze one that I'm really, really eyeballing, if you kind of cover up with your hand those 4 special shades in the corner, how different is it from many of the neutral palettes that I already own? So if I can spend $25 on one just really, really special individual shade versus $125 on the entire 10-pan palette, that could be attractive to me. But overall, I absolutely loved the performance that I got from this little mini palette right here, and I'm very happy to have it. I realize I'm kind of skipping ahead, so I will keep my thoughts to myself until the end. But the next thing that comes in this kit is this Angel Dust Crystalline Prismatic Pigment. It is a real little jar, which is fine because like you're ever gonna go through a full one, let's be honest. And this actually surprised me a little bit. I expected, I think, for something that was going to be a little bit more finely milled, and this is actually a bit of a chunky sort of glitter. It reminds me a little bit of like gold leaf, so you can kind of rub it in or you can just tap it over the top, and it's very, very pretty. But it is definitely a little bit messy. So I would say if you're using, I don't know where my makeup wipe went. If you're using this, you want to do it before you do your makeup, so that you can sweep it away a little bit more easily. At least that's my experience with it. All right, and then finally, the last thing that came in there is that mascara. This is the Pat McGrath Fetish Eyes mascara, and I was so excited to get this. So I am wearing it on my lashes now. I'm really glad that I was able to pick up a mini of this. I love mini mascaras, to be quite honest with you. I find that they last almost just as long as a full size, especially if you're rotating them out as quickly as you're supposed to be, 3 months. I feel like these minis are honestly where it's at. So I am very excited to have gotten this little mini in this kit. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to insert some clips of me applying this look right here, and then we'll come back and wrap up and I'll give you all of my final thoughts. Alright, so that was my experience using these products earlier this morning, and I have to say, I do really, really like this palette. As I'm sure you gathered from the beginning part of this video, I think this is a smartly done little palette, and it actually does contain a fair bit of product. So this contains a total net weight of 6 grams, making each of these pans 1 gram each, which I think is fantastic. And I think if I was reading them properly, the full size pans in both the 6-pan palette and the 10-pan palette, 10-pan, 12-pan? Anyway, the large palette and I guess now her medium-sized palettes, is that they run 2 grams each. So this is actually, I feel like, a really, really good value. So I am super thrilled to have this. Ooh. Now, as far as the little topper, I think it's pretty. I don't think it's anything that I can't live without, but I do think it's pretty and I am happy to have it in my collection, and I'm sure that I will get some good use out of it. Like I said in the intro, it is something that I would recommend doing before you put on your face makeup, or just making sure to lay down, for instance, a layer of bake or something that makes it a little bit easier to fluff it away. So that, again, I'm happy to have it. I don't think it's necessarily a deal breaker by not owning it. And then we come to the thing that I'm actually quite disappointed in. I have to say I'm glad that I didn't buy the full size, because I was not super duper impressed with the performance of this mascara. It gave separation for sure. It did definitely darken my lashes, but it didn't give as much volume and as much length and drama as I was expecting it to, especially since Pat McGrath is known for her very editorial and edgy sort of makeup. I really thought that this was going to be, if anything, too dramatic and too clumpy, that I was going to have to kind of balance out. But this actually, I feel like, is one that gives a very almost natural sort of look to your lashes, just a little bit more defined. So oddly, this smells like roses. I don't know if I'm crazy. Yeah, so this is going to be a really odd association. If you've ever used Flonase, the nasal spray, I couldn't use it even though it was prescribed to me, because it just, the smell of roses was so overpowering, and this smells exactly like that. It was so strange. When I was putting it on my eyes, I could smell it immediately. Now, luckily, even though I do have sensitive eyes, I didn't notice it irritating my eyes at all, which I know if you are sensitive to fragrances could be an issue for you. But I've also noticed that the scent lingered for a good hour, hour and a half after I did my makeup. I actually filmed that segment this morning. And yeah, I will use this up for sure, and perhaps my feelings on it might change a little bit. It is a drier formula, which generally I do kind of like a little bit drier mascaras. But it's maybe one of those that when you have it open for a little while, it improves over time. I'm not sure. I'm also going to try pairing it with an eyelash primer and kind of see if I can find a way for it to work well. I don't know if it's going to end up transferring or smudging, but I did notice when I was applying it, it was really, really messy along my upper lash line. Now, if you wear false lashes or eyeliner, then that will easily hide it. But I did notice that I had a lot of transfer to my upper lash line, which I don't normally have with the mascaras that I use on a regular basis. So I am definitely bummed about this, but I am very, very glad that I got to try it before spending $28 on the full size. And overall, I feel like this for me was a really good purchase, and I'm glad that I made it. So now you tell me, is this something that you picked up or that you've been wanting to pick up? Also, have you tried her full-size palettes, and what are your thoughts there? And certainly I would love to know if you have tried her full-size palettes and you've tried this mini, how do they compare? Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I hope that you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye.